Throughout Earth's history, there have been creatures so terrifying and powerful that if they were alive today, humanity would probably not be at the top of the food chain. Some of these monsters are distant relatives of animals we still know, while others are unlike anything we could even imagine. For this list, I won't include the obvious ones like T-Rex or Spinosaurus. Instead, we'll look at 10 lesser-known but equally horrifying animals that once dominated the Earth and are now thankfully gone. 10. Gigantopithecus. Imagine walking through a bamboo forest in ancient China and coming face to face with a primate that looked like an orangutan, but was 3 meters tall and weighed over half a ton. That was Gigantopithecus, the largest ape to have ever lived. These gentle giants were vegetarians, but don't let that fool you. If threatened, their sheer strength would have been enough to crush a human without much effort. Fossils have been found in China, India, and Vietnam, suggesting they thrived in Asia during the Pleistocene era. Some researchers even believe this creature could be the root of legends about Bigfoot or the Yeti. Sadly, they disappeared around 300,000 years ago, likely due to a shrinking food supply and hunting pressure from early humans. Still, if they had survived, it's hard to imagine sharing the forests with them. 9. Pulmonoscorpius. Today's scorpions are already intimidating, but in prehistoric times, they could grow over a meter long. Known as Pulmonoscorpius, these nightmare arachnids lived around 340 million years ago during the Carboniferous period. Their massive size was partly due to the high oxygen levels of the atmosphere back then, which allowed bugs and arthropods to grow far larger than anything we see today. Imagine a house cat-sized scorpion scuttling across your floor, armed with crushing pincers and a venomous stinger. We don't know exactly how toxic their venom was, but considering their size, a sting could have been devastating. And they weren't the only oversized insects. This was also the age of dragonflies with wingspans the size of hawks, and millipede relatives that stretched 3 meters long. It truly was a bug lover's nightmare. 8. Parusasaurus. Crocodiles are terrifying enough today, but 8 million years ago in South America, their giant cousin, the Parusasaurus, ruled the waterways. Growing up to 13 meters long and weighing nearly 9 tons, this monster could swallow a human whole without hesitation. Fossils show their jaws were so powerful they could crush the bones of large mammals. In fact, Parusasaurus wasn't just dangerous to humans. It could take down other apex predators, including massive cats and even dinosaurs that lingered at the time. Picture this. Modern saltwater crocodiles are around 6 meters long at most. Parusasaurus was more than double that. If these creatures still existed, South American rivers would be completely off limits. 7. Quetzalcoatlus. At number 7, we have the Quetzalcoatlus, one of the largest flying animals of all time. Standing as tall as a giraffe, with wingspans between 12 and 15 meters, this pterosaur was roughly the size of a small plane. What's eerie about Quetzalcoatlus is that it likely spent most of its time flying. Instead, scientists believe it stalked the ground like a stork, using its long beak to snap up prey. That prey could have been anything from small mammals to dog-sized animals, and possibly even early humans had we been around. Imagine a creature with a giraffe's height, a crane's hunting style, and the wingspan of a Cessna airplane. You wouldn't dare go outside. 6. Megalodon. No list of terrifying extinct animals would be complete without the megalodon, the largest shark ever known. While today's great white sharks grow up to 6 meters long, megalodon reached an estimated 18 meters and weighed as much as 100 tons. It lived around 23 to 2.6 million years ago, preying on whales, sea turtles, and even other sharks. Its bite force is estimated at over 40,000 pounds per square inch, strong enough to crush a car. Fossils show that megalodon often bit into whale bones, breaking them like twigs. If these monsters still swam in our oceans, beach vacations would be a thing of the past. Even a modern cargo ship might not feel safe. 5. Gorgonops. Before the age of dinosaurs, there was Gorgonops, a saber-toothed predator that lived about 260 million years ago. These beasts grew up to 3 meters long and had massive canine teeth that nearly hung past their lower jaws. They were lightning-fast hunters, perfectly built for ambushing prey. In their time, Gorgonops sat at the top of the food chain, long before dinosaurs rose to power. Scientists describe them as part reptile, part mammal, and completely lethal. If you had to face one, you wouldn't stand a chance. It was essentially a saber-toothed tiger combined with a lizard. 4. Terror birds. South America once had the home of the infamous terror birds, towering predators that could grow up to 3 meters tall. They couldn't fly, but they didn't need to. Instead, they sprinted at terrifying speeds, possibly as fast as a cheetah. Armed with massive hooked beaks nearly a meter long, they were able to swallow prey like dogs, horses, or even camels in a single gulp. Fossil evidence shows they dominated their ecosystems until big cats eventually outcompeted them. If they still roam today, even walking outside with your pets would be a death sentence. 3. Titanoboa. 60 million years ago, after the dinosaurs disappeared, the world's largest snake slithered through tropical South America. Named Titanoboa, it grew up to 15 meters long and weighed more than a ton. Like modern boas, it killed prey by constricting them, but on a much larger scale. Imagine a snake thicker than a car, wrapping around a crocodile and crushing it like a soda can. That was daily life for Titanoboa. If it existed today, rivers and swamps would be some of the most dangerous places on Earth. Humans wouldn't stand a chance. 2. Arthropleura. Centipedes and millipedes creep people out today, and they're only a few inches long. But 300 million years ago, their relative, Arthropleura, stretched up to 3 meters in length. It's not clear whether Arthropleura was a predator or simply a massive herbivore, but either way, its size alone would have been horrifying. Fossil tracks suggest they slithered across the forest floors like armored trains. With few predators of their own, they reigned supreme in the undergrowth. If you think finding a small centipede in your house is bad, imagine one longer than your living room. And 1. Mosasaurus. Finally, the king of ancient oceans, the Mosasaurus. Fossil evidence suggests it could reach up to 15 meters long, with a crocodile-like head lined with hundreds of razor-sharp teeth. It was one of the deadliest marine predators of all time, capable of tearing apart armored sea reptiles and swallowing sharks whole. To put it in perspective, it was nearly 3 times the size of a great white shark. If Mosasaurus still existed, even modern naval ships might not be safe. Picture it lunging from the waves and devouring a small boat in one bite. It was the true nightmare of the seas. These are just 10 of the most nightmarish animals that once ruled the earth. While it's fascinating to imagine them alive today, it's also a relief to know we'll never have to encounter them. Which of these creatures do you think would be the worst to run into?